When this video first started making the rounds online, most people thought they already knew what happened. Another tourist got too close to a bison. But according to witnesses, that's not the full story. So what actually happened? Let's find out. For this story, we are going to Yellowstone National Park. We are going to July 10th, 2026, and we meet a 65-year-old man named Isom-McDaniel. He was visiting the park with his 13-year-old grandson. The two were walking through Bridge Bay Campground when they spotted a mature bull bison nearby. Like a lot of visitors, they stopped to admire it. And we're going to take it to Carl to describe the counter himself.
We saw the bison and he was down. He wasn't showing aggression or anything like that until it picked a target. That target happened to be me.
There was little time to react as the bison suddenly turned toward them. Carl immediately realized they were in trouble. Later, he recalled the moment by saying, and I quote, "We were about 100 yards away. There was little time to decide what to do. I told my grandson to run in one direction, and I went the other direction to draw it away from him. And it worked." Carl is a great grandpa. The bison focused on Carl instead of his grandson. A fully grown bison can weigh close to 2,000 pounds. And despite that massive size, they're capable of reaching speeds of around 35 miles an hour. Carl never had a chance to outrun it. He wasn't wrong to go into the trees here. You can run away from non-predators.
They move faster than you could ever imagine. He just kept coming and he was more aggressive. And as soon as he got off that tree, he launched me in the air.
The bison slammed into him with incredible force, launching him about 10 feet into the air before he crashed back to the ground.
I always felt safe and secure. I wasn't ever terrified. Even though I was on the ground, he could have stomped me, he could have gored me, could have done anything.
Carl was transported to a hospital in Bozeman, Montana.
I didn't get bruises from him launching me in the air. It was the landing that came the problem.
Where doctors discovered his femur had been broken in 4 different places. The entire incident was not as catastrophic as it could have been. His grandson was not injured, and somehow what could have become one of Yellowstone's worst wildlife tragedies ended very differently. Some witnesses reported that a nearby truck honked its horn and kicked up dust just before the attack. It's possible that played a role, but Yellowstone officials have not identified an official cause. What we do know is that this happened during one of the most unpredictable times of the year for bison. July is during the rutting season, which means it's breeding season. When mature bulls are competing for the females, testosterone levels are high. Bulls are constantly challenging one another, and they're often far less tolerant of anything they perceive as a threat or disturbance. That doesn't mean that every bull becomes aggressive, but it does make them more unpredictable. In fact, bison injure more people in Yellowstone National Park than any other wild animal, including bears. Most of those injuries happen because visitors intentionally get too close, and they ignore the park's safety recommendations. That's one of the reasons Carl's story caught so much attention. Based on Carl's account and what witnesses described, this doesn't appear to be the typical tourist gets too close situation. Instead, it serves as a reminder that even when you try to make good decisions around wildlife, that's never a guarantee. I don't know, it's like nature is random and chaotic or something. Yellowstone recommends staying at least 25 yards away from bison, and that's still good advice. But don't think of 25 yards as some invisible force field barrier. Wild animals don't know what 25 yards means. They don't read the warning signs, and they don't follow park rules. They react to the world around them in ways that we cannot always predict. They're wild animals. One of the biggest questions people had after the attack was whether the bison should be euthanized. Luckily, that answer is no. According to park officials, no management action will be taken against the bison. National parks exist to protect wildlife and the ecosystems they live in. Visiting places like Yellowstone is an incredible experience, but it also comes with a responsibility to understand that these animals are exactly what they're supposed to be: wild. Carl's story also has a fortunate ending. His grandson wasn't injured. Carl is kind of a badass. In fact, he gets the force of nature stamp of badassery. I don't give that out to just anybody. And by the latest accounts, he is on the road to recovery. Good for Carl. Sometimes people make terrible decisions around wildlife. Look at this dumbass, for example. What we can do is learn from these moments. Respect the animals we share these places with. Nature isn't trying to be cruel. It isn't trying to be fair. Nature simply follows its own rules. And that's exactly what makes it so fascinating. It's kind of like nature is... how do I describe it? Oh, I know. Random and chaotic. I will see you next time.